Hello everyone, today I'm going to be showing one of my favorite customs that I have ever made, at least so far, and that is a wooden Duchess of Loughborough. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And this is the first time that I have repainted an entire engine, and for my first I think it turned out excellent. So the Duchess is a character introduced in the 24th season of Thomas and Friends, and she is the royal engine who transports the royal family around the UK, and Thomas helped her get to London when she broke down once. And that is unfortunately about it. I think it would have been great if Duchess had appeared again, but the show ended and she's not really that important in the show to return in the current form of the show. And partially because of that, Duchess only got a motorized toy and not a wooden one. Which is a shame because I think a Duchess class would have looked great in wooden alloy. But, well, it didn't happen, so I had to make mine. The engine that I chose for this custom is a repaint of this engine. It's the exact same base, but this one is only slightly modded from how it originally looked. I think you can see which parts I added and which were already there. So I just took this engine and bought another one, and I completely repainted her, except for the chassis and some small parts like the cab roof. I started with the tender. I painted most of it white, and the front and top of it I painted black. I wasn't sure at first if I wanted to paint the front black too, because while most tenders in Thomas are like this, most toys don't have it like it, so I'm not really used to it. But I decided to try it, and honestly, I'm pretty satisfied with it, so why not? I'm going to keep it like this. And I also painted the chassis red because that's the color of it on her show model. I also added some of the details like hair lettering and lining, and a lamp and some buffers at the back. Oh, and I also painted the wheels red. And then the main engine is pretty much the same thing. I painted her white from all sides. I wasn't able to get the paint on all of the places. There is a little spot inside the cab here. But other than that, it is pretty much on all of the engine. I added some of the details like the lining, the handrails, the number 2020, the cab windows, of course the red wheels, and a running board. And in the show, the Duchess has a black buffer beam, but I decided to give her a red one because I didn't really have a way to show the buffers with a black buffer beam, and I also think that this looks good. I haven't actually written the name Duchess on her nameplate, so currently it's blank, and I'm not sure if I'm ever going to write it because it will be some small text, so it's going to stay blank for the foreseeable future. And a quick thing I should probably point out, the model that I used has 3 domes, and there isn't a way to hide that. So I just painted all of them white and pretended that, well, the Duchess had 3 domes and not one. At least I think she has only one in the show. I also painted her smoke box black, and I added a paper face, which I designed myself. The problem with this engine is that the front of the smoke box is curved. I'm not sure if you can see it. So there isn't really a way to stick a paper face on it. So I had to take a piece of black clay and put it between the face and the engine so that there would be a flat surface on which it would stick. And of course I had to use glue to hold it in place. And then the only part that remained were the smoke deflectors. At first I wasn't sure if I was going to add them because I didn't really know how I would do them. but I decided to try doing them with clay. I know that it's probably not the best method because clay can deform over time, and I know that, so it's possible that in the future I may replace them with something else, but it actually worked out well with the clay so far, so I'm going to keep it for now. And like with the part between the face and the engine, I had to glue it so that it would stay in place. And that is pretty much everything about this custom. And I should also probably explain that the reason I used a third-party engine and not something like a Wooden Railway Henry or a Wooden Railway Murdoch is that, first of all, Wooden Railway isn't really that common here, and I don't want to buy and ship a new item, well, not new, but you know what I mean, because it's not the cheapest, it's not that expensive, but also not something I want to try for a custom when I don't even know how it's going to turn out. Thankfully that just turned out well, but she didn't have to. And another reason why I used this engine is that it came with this nice set of two green coaches, and coaches are probably something that every Thomas collector needs more of, or at least most of them. And because I already had bought one of the pack, that means that I now have four of these coaches. So this is going to help my layout a lot and my collection. But even without them, I'm still really happy for this pack because, well, I think I'm repeating myself, she turned out great. And also, fun fact, I wanted to finish this custom before I had to take down my big layout, which I made a video about a few weeks ago. But unfortunately, this engine arrived too late, and by the time I had finished the custom, the layout was already in boxes. So that was unfortunate, but at least I can show her on my desktop layout, which I am actually going to do now. And finally, one last thing. This probably isn't going to be the only time I use this engine for a custom. I plan to buy at least one more of this pack so that I would have 6 coaches. And as for the engine, I'm not still completely decided what I'm going to use it for, but I am currently leaning towards Alfred. And because this engine has a pretty big firebox and Alfred is usually a B12, that would mean that in my AU Alfred would be a different design, maybe a freelance one. But I don't think that's a big issue because, well, Alfred is already a Fentake, so it doesn't really matter if my Fentake is also different. And I think that's everything, so thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next video.